Coming soon on Reflections.
Over me, they called me poop because I was brown. Went back home and I told my brothers and my dad, and that was the first time I experienced racism.
Yeah, it's never easy, especially here in Denmark, whereby you cannot mishandle a kid like we would do
in Africa.
In Africa.
And guess what? I'll say something. We haven't achieved so much. We haven't hit it so high. And you know why? Parents have failed. And maybe the parents haven't failed, but I think the system, there's a way we've failed to relate between the system and parenthood.
About it. So like in Denmark here, their parents don't really parent them the right way. And they end up being disrespectful, racist, and all this kind of stuff.
Like in Uganda, I always grew up around church. My mom, for example, is a really religious woman.
Yes.
Yeah, like every time she's for
Reflections. Join us on Facebook and YouTube every Saturday at 8 p.m. Christian Love Fellowship. Love never fails.
A very good evening to you, our viewers, and we want to welcome you to a very wonderful program called Reflections. We hail all the way from the city of Copenhagen, Denmark, and we're from a small town called Brøndby Øster, just our address being Brøndby Toften 3A. It's a beautiful Saturday, and I believe you're having a very wonderful Saturday evening, and we welcome you. Just sit down by your couch, wherever you are, get a cup of coffee, some cold drinks, and follow us in the program. And in Reflections, we look into very many things: your highs, your low, the things that interest you in life, the things that bore you in life, your challenges, and every other thing that has come your way. And it is my prayer that even today, the guests that I'm having in studio are going to do you good, and they're going to speak to you good, and you're going to enjoy their story. I have a very wonderful family, and we're going to be talking much about our challenges, life, relocating in this country, coming from Africa. What challenges do we meet? What happiness do we meet here? What about the culture clash? And many, many other things in details. Reflections is this program. And I want to welcome my guests officially. And I'll begin with the lady at my extreme left. Yes, madam. What's your name?
My name is Beyonce and I'm 15. I'm from Gulu, Uganda.
You're from Gulu, Uganda. Kopango.
Kope.
And then last gentleman also next to her.
Yes, my name is Beckham, and I'm 19, and she's my sister, and I'm from Gulu, Uganda.
You're from Gulu, Uganda.
Yeah.
Kopango.
Kope.
Kopango means how are you? And then on my immediate left, I'll ask this wonderful gentleman to introduce himself to us, and we get to know who they are. Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening, viewers, and thank you, Pastor. My name is Odida Jude. I am from Gulu, Uganda, and these are my two lovely children. We live in Oetastrop.
Okay, are these the only children you have?
No, I got two more who are out of this room.
Okay.
Yes, Benjamin and Bastian.
You are very, 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 very welcome. And how long have you lived here, Jude?
Yeah, I've been in Denmark for 9 years now.
9 years now.
Yes.
And so you came 9 years ago. That puts us to 2014. 14.
Yes.
How do you find Denmark?
Yeah, it has now become home. Because I didn't think it would become home because I always felt Gulu was home. So, but when we went for Christmas last year to Gulu, and then we stayed, and then somehow we felt that we wanted to go back home, and that home was Denmark, and that was strange. It was a strange feeling. So being here for 9 years also, it kind of, of course, you have to integrate and try to make where you are home, because there is no any other place you can call home apart from where you are living, where you are having a life. So we try to make Denmark home, and by making it home, we also try to appreciate the culture try to integrate, but also maintaining our core traditions as an Acholi, as a Ugandan, as an African, and also make sure that as a father, I raise my kids in the correct African norms, of course, guided by the blessings of God, and make sure that everything we do is in the line of Christianity.
Amen.
And being obedient to the commandments of God, and also make sure that the kids are growing into that same line, so that they cannot be deviated because of the Western culture, because of the Western beliefs, and because of all these developing theories that are natural in life.
Wow. Wow. Beyonce, when did you come here? After such a powerful introduction by Daddy, when did you come?
I came at the end of 2017.
Did you speak Danish now?
What?
Do you speak Danish?
No, now, yes, I do.
I have a friend of mine. He's lived here from 2014, 9 years. Mr. Jude, you speak Danish?
Yeah, I speak Danish.
This guy can't speak Danish to this day. He's terrible. You speak Danish?
Yes.
And what about you, Beckham?
Yeah, of course I speak Danish.
And you study in Danish?
Yes.
I believe someone is watching and you're learning. After 9 years here, you don't speak a word. Okay, you came in 2017. How did you find Denmark?
It was kind of strange, but then I got used to it. And when I came, there was a new smell. But then I got new to the smell and new to the people. Got used to that. Yeah.
Producer, I don't know if the sound is you're very low.
Oh. Just again. Okay. I came here, it was very strange, but then I had to get used to it. The people were very, very nice, and I made new friends, and yeah, it was nice.
Don't you miss Uganda?
I did miss it, but now
you gotten used.
It's like
you still hear from your old friends?
One of them.
Only one?
Only one.
What about other family members?
Oh yes, my mom. That's about it. My mom and my friend.
That's all you hear from?
Yes.
You came in the winter, yeah?
Yeah, in the winter, Christmas.
Yes.
Yes.
And Christmas, and when you arrived, that was the first day of snow.
That was the first day of snow.
The first day of snow, and they had a snowstorm in Amsterdam when they landed in Amsterdam. So while I was waiting at the airport in Copenhagen, they had a delay in Amsterdam because of the snow. And it was the first day of snow for the winter, so that was kind of a blessing and a welcome to Europe for them. And the nice experience was that when I was waiting at the airport for them to come in, and then when they popped out from the arrivals, Beyonce was wearing a blouse and a skirt with no leggings inside, and she was wearing an open shoe.
No high heels.
High heels open, and it was snow. And it was winter, and it was freezing.
What a shock you must have gotten. Gulu, you came from Gulu. In Uganda, you're living in Gulu.
Yes.
And Gulu must be pretty hot. How did you feel? I mean, the change, that heat and the cold, did it shock you?
It very much shocked me. When I came here, it was snowing. And when I was in the airport with my high heels, even the people there that worked there told me that it wasn't a good idea to come with high heels, but no one told me.
Why did you make a choice to bring on high heels? You wanted to show Daddy, I am thick, I'm dope, or what? You felt that was the best you wanted to put on,
Yes, exactly.
And how old were you?
I was 9.
9?
Yes.
Oh. And I presume you came at the same time?
Yes.
You came on the same day?
Yes.
How was it for you?
It was about the same, when you first landed in Netherlands, and I looked outside, I saw snow. I was really, surprised and excited.
You had never seen snow before, apart from watching it on TV.
Yeah. So it was like a great experience. But I was lucky because I had some jeans and some shoes, so it wasn't that cold to begin with. But when I went outside, it got cold. And so.
And which schools did you attend in Uganda?
In Uganda.
Were you in Gulu also?
Yes, but I first started in Homies in Kamosha in Kampala.
Yeah.
I was I think from I don't know how old, but until until I was, I think, 8 or 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Home is Darling. That's around Mawanda Road.
Yeah.
Is that around Mawanda Road?
Mawanda Road, yeah.
Yes. Wow. So you don't know pretty much about Kampala.
Not really.
You know more about Gulu.
Yes.
Yes. And do you hear from your friends?
In Uganda.
Yeah.
I used to, but no. He's in a senior 4 right now, so it's kind of busy.
Yep.
But I mostly hear from my mother and my cousins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What challenges have you met here? I want you. We keep it real here. Don't try to sugarcoat it. What challenges have you met?
The cold.
Only the cold?
Nah, that's like the first one. That was like not there, The cold, the changing weather. Like in Uganda, it was like so hot. Every day like 30 degrees, 40 degrees. But here it was like minus degrees in winter. So it was like so challenging for me to adapt.
Yep. The language?
Or the language too. It was really hard. Like when we first started school, right? My
Yep.
dad took us to Danish school, and we didn't know no Danish, no nothing, and they didn't even speak English there too. So it was like hard to communicate with other kids.
Wasn't there English as a subject?
Yes, but they were really bad at it.
So you were the champions in English, I presume.
Yes.
Everyone looked up to you to learn English.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So how is it? I mean, Mr. Judy, it's not easy bringing kids here with this culture. I mean, what challenges are you meeting?
Yeah, definitely it wasn't. Of course, the thought of having my kids coming over to Denmark was exciting, because I had been here 3 years without my kids, so I've been terribly missing them. And then when finally they were offered resident permit to come to Denmark to live with me, I was very excited. So I had to move away from Copenhagen, from Norrbo, and get a house in Kalundborg Kommun. So I was living in a small town called Svibule. Svibule is a very, very, very small town with only one supermarket. And
Okay.
then, so that one there, I got a house. So that was an immediate fix. And I need to
Big
do-
house or what?
Yeah, it was a house.
Mm.
Yeah. So when they came over, so they had to. So I was kind of the only black African guy in that community. So
Mm.
when they came over, then they had to go straight into the school. And the school, they were also the first black kids.
Are there any
Those-
other black kids there, or you don't go to that school anymore? of course?
When they came, they were the only ones. But then
Yes.
others came later.
Yeah, right.
So
now, like a few.
they entered a storm in terms of cultural shock.
Mm.
Yeah, so they just entered straight into Danish class, and then it was Danish.
What shock was it, Beyonce, hearing people speaking a language you've never heard of? Had you heard of Denmark before?
No.
What had you heard of Denmark before?
I mean, yes, my dad used to talk about it a lot. Like
No.
one
Okay, your dad used to talk about Denmark.
yeah, like one time, I think a year or two before we came to Denmark, he came to visit us with our little brother Bastian
Yeah.
in Kenya.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they showed us photos of Denmark, snow and everything. So it was like, what? We heard about Denmark, but we didn't know anything. Like the only thing we knew about the language was Gumon.
Okay, what I'm asking, before Daddy came to Denmark, definitely, was it a country you had into consideration, thinking Denmark, living in Denmark? What was your picture about Denmark? Beyonce, when you heard about Denmark, what would you imagine?
Just white people. That's what I was thinking about. Like, white people and just cold. I don't know. There wasn't really much to think about there. Because when we're in Africa, you don't really talk much about Europe. So I don't really.
And you? What was the immediate thought when you thought about Denmark?
I know, rich.
Rich.
Yeah,
You thought these guys are rich, eh?
yeah.
I mean, Drew, tell me, how was it? I mean, why Denmark? Why Denmark?
Yeah, it was Denmark for two reasons.
Yes.
The first reason was that my best friend is called Niels Bjørn. We met in Gulu in 2004 when he came to visit to Gulu to do his PhD research. So while I was working with the Norwegian Refugee Council, he was referred to the council, and I was his caretaker in terms of translation and showing him around. So from there, we have been in touch. And then the following year, he invited me over to Denmark for a visit. So 2005, I came to Denmark for a visit for a month, and then I went back to Uganda. So That's how I came in contact with Denmark. But of course, before I knew Denmark from school, I think from P5, in terms of Denmark being
milk,
a country of milk and cheese.
Yeah.
So I know Denmark because of milk, especially.
Mm.
Yeah, because I love milk myself. So,
what has been the hardest you've experienced in Denmark, Beckham? The hardest you say, man, this is some hard stuff I've gone through here.
It was probably when I think it was probably when at the one time I was in ninth grade.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was and like it was almost time for exams, and I was told that I could not do the exams because I couldn't speak Danish. So I had to change schools and go to a sport class, language school.
Hold on. When you came here, what class did you go to?
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade. Yeah. And by ninth grade, they said you can't do
the exams because my Danish was way too low for to be able to understand anything or even pass the exams. So
how did you feel?
I felt so bad.
But at that point of time, would you understand? Would you read Danish and understand it? Could you listen and hear whatever they were telling you? Could you write Danish?
I could write Danish, yes, but no, when like Danish people start speaking Danish, right? It was hard for me to understand them because they speak so fast. So I had to like really focus, and it was still hard for me to understand it. So I was like really bad at Danish still.
So the day of the exam comes and they tell you, we're sorry you won't sit for the exam.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell you that before.
No, they told me I think a month or two before the exams would start exams that I couldn't sit exams, so I had to change schools.
And you went to a language school.
Yeah, in Colombo. Then after we moved to Tastrop, and then I changed to language school in Tastrop.
And Beyonce, what has been the hardest you've met in Denmark?
I would say racism or just being
very
different.
Good. Bring it on.
Because I remember I was in third grade, because I started in third grade.
Speak louder.
I started in third grade here, and then like there's something called a SFO. So like after school, the kids will go and just play and do stuff. And then I remember these people from like a grade upper, like over me, they called me poop because I was brown. Then
they called you
poop.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I went back home and I told my brothers and my dad, and yeah, that was the first time I experienced racism.
Have you experienced it over and over?
I mean, yes, I have, but I don't really let it bother me because, I love who I am. No one can tell me different. Good. So what advice would you give any younger like you? Because there are many of color that are experiencing this. And you see, one thing I'll let you know is that racism is everywhere. Racism is everywhere. I mean, we have, for example, in Uganda or in Africa, we do have people that suffer from, is it albinism, yeah? The albinos. I mean, they could also be segregated because of color. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even by tribal, religiously, people can be segregated. But, okay, it didn't feel good. Are all your friends Danish? Right now, no.
Why?
Because the school I go to, like, there's like Muslims and black people. In my class, there's no Danish people at all. There's only people from Turkish and other countries.
How do you find them?
I feel like it's better because I feel more like at home because they're also like
foreigners like you.
Yeah, exactly. They're also, yeah.
Do you think this that speck of racism kind of affected your self-esteem, the way you view life, the way you see things?
Yeah, because I remember when I came here, I was very nice, I was very sweet, I was very innocent, and then when I got that racism, I had to like
develop a muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad muscle.
Yeah. So that happened.
Have you experienced anything of that kind?
Yes.
Bring it on.
Yes.
In school, clubs, socials, whatever.
This one time, I was in like we were still living in Swibele, and there was this first grader who came to me and asked me, why are you black, or like why your skin dark, and I didn't know how to answer that. I was like really shocked. I was like is it the first time seeing a black person, or like I was like really confused. I didn't know how to answer that question.
Okay, and have you experienced it? Have you experienced it at different levels again? Do you ever feel segregated, dropped out, and feel a bit alone sometimes?
I mean, yeah, but no, but now like in the point of my life where like I like to block out stuff that bothers me. If something that bothers me, I just block it out. I just
So regardless of what you experience, you
just block it out. I forget about it next day. So like that.
this Jude, it's challenging to have children here. Very challenging, because when we bring our kids from Africa, there's this cultural clash that really knocks off people.
Yeah.
It's very challenging, very difficult.
Yeah.
How are you doing it? I
Yeah.
mean, the peer pressure alone,
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
How are you doing this?
It's tough, especially when you're a single parent like me, and having 3 kids in the house, of course, from a young age until now. It's not been easy. You have to protect them. You have to.
How do you protect them, Jude? Protect them from what?
I protect them from being affected by the outside influences.
Yes.
And the outside influences can come from the peers in school, can come from what they see out in the community around them, and then my protection to them is I have to talk to them, tell them what they need to do, and how they can react to those
The pressures.
those pressures from outside that are not good for them. And then it's all about them understanding what is good and what is wrong and how to keep away from it. So it comes in a way of what kind of friends do you choose? What kind of friends do you relate to when you're in school and out of school?
Repeat
And,
that. It's
yes.
important to know what kind of friends our children relate with.
Yes. It's very important because the other children whom you relate with, they are misleading, they are misguiding, because we live in a community where we have different races. So some are people who will lead into problems. Some will lead you into certain acts that are not good for you as a Christian and as a person who needs to become a responsible citizen.
Good.
Yeah. So I always make sure that they are protected, and by being protected is that I have to make sure that I talk to them, I find out what they do, who their friends are, and they have to be home at some point.
I want parents to listen to this. I want parents to listen to this. We are listening to a single father who is bringing up 4 children, and these guys are in their teens. Very, 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 very delicate age. I want to know. So there's this strictness. What time? There's a time they have to be inside home.
Yes, they have to be home, and my time is 5 o'clock. So when you come, when you finish school, you have to be home. And if you're not coming home after 5, you need to let me know what's going on. Why you're not coming home after 5? So they need to inform me. You need to call me. Otherwise, you're gonna be in problems. But then, because they need to understand that when it's after 5, I get worried, and when I get worried, it's not good. So they need to respect that. There are certain lines you can't cross, and if you don't cross those certain lines, then you earn the love, you earn the trust in your dad. So it's all about following rules and principles, and then when you do that, everything is good. You get whatever you need, which I think which I know will be good for you. But if you don't do what needs to be done, then definitely you have to know that you're not gonna be in you're not gonna handle love from me. So, but it all is not about being tough. It's all about being lenient to the kids, talking to them nicely, being friends with them, and also right now when they're teens like this, I always tell them you're not children anymore. You are teens, and to me you are adults, and because of that, I respect you, and because of that, I trust you. And when I trust you, it means that I trust your actions. When it means I trust you, I trust that when you go out with a friend,
you're responsible.
You're responsible. You'll be doing the right things when you're out, and you'll not be doing stupid things. I can see many kids outside trying stupid things, and those stupid things misguide them, mislead them, and when they get trapped into that, into that hole of trying things, they stay there. And when they stay there, they never get out. And once you never get out, your life is completely finished. So keep away from that trap. Always, if you see a friend misleading you, you just say, no thanks. You move out. If that friend insists, you get out. You leave that friend. There are many other friends. Sometimes friends, some friends are for good, some friends are not for good. You get them out of your life. So that's quite important to me.
Wow. I think we'll need a serious talk with Mr. Jude to talk about parenting in Europe. Parenting in Europe, because this is a very tough thing. Very tough and very delicate. Very delicate. Because many parents have failed. Anyway, we're going to take a short break and then we come back and then you're going to tell me how messy you have been. You don't tell me you've been good, eh? You're going to tell me how messy you have been and what mistakes you've done, and you feel, I think I did this. Take it easy. We're coming back after the break. The program is called Reflections. My name is Katz. Welcome back from that break, and we believe if you don't have a church, you can come and fellowship with us. We're a wonderful family. But if you do have a church, honor your church, respect your church, be there, be part of the fellowship, love everything you're learning there, and practice. The gospel is just not hearing, but it's walking it. Walk the gospel, walk what your pastor is teaching you, enjoy it. Let's love God, love people, and God is love. Here we are. Reflections is a program. Dad is a good parent, don't you think so?
Yes, he is.
Sometimes you feel he's bad, eh? Sometimes you feel, I want the freedom to do whatever I want. Yeah. Yeah. What notice? Why do you think you sometimes feel, you say, hi, here, I came back home late, I didn't call daddy. Has it been tough living with the strictness of daddy?
I don't really think that is that strict. He gives us freedom because
Yes.
he trusts us because we are very responsible. But sometimes we take that for granted, and then we get into trouble. But we always learn from
Have
it.
you fallen into trouble?
Yeah.
Many
'Cause
times, eh?
Not many times, but like, let's say with my phone, I always break my phone, and sometimes I come late without telling him. And yeah,
Where do you be?
I just be with my friends.
So you fall into trouble. What's the worst? You're punished or what? You don't get a new phone or what?
I mean, like, every time I break my phone, I pay for it myself.
Why would you break your phone?
It's it's by mistake.
And Beckham, what's up, man?
Yes.
How are you dealing with peer pressure? Smoking, drinking? Do you drink?
No.
Do you
Well,
smoke?
I don't smoke, but drinking, my dad's been easing me into it.
Easing you into it.
Yeah.
Do you go dancing?
No, I don't dance. Like, I don't really go out that much.
Girls?
Not really.
Your daddy should be proud of you. Have you been in trouble sometime?
I don't really get into trouble that much.
But you've been in trouble.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your trouble. What did you do? What did you do, Beckham? The Bible says, confess confess your sins that you may be healed.
Oh yeah, okay. There was this point. I think it was like last year or like the year before that, where I like to play games a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel me. And I would love to buy this in-game currency.
By what?
In-game currency, like stuff for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And one time I spent like 1,000 or something krona.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad got real pissed, and we had this argument. You feel me? And I said some nonsense that I was gonna move out and like
where did you get the idea of wanting to move out from home?
Because he was on my case about buying the stuff when I thought it was my money, but now I understand.
Do you think Daddy was wrong?
No, I think it was right, because I was spending way too much money on the game that I eventually stopped playing. Yeah, so
Wow. Mr. Jude,
Yes, sir.
I want you to talk to the parents and tell them something here. This is very, very, very interesting because parents that are watching, I mean, having children, I'm telling you, one time my wife was someone, she met a Ghanaian lady who told her, "What's up with you Ugandans?" She was at a place of a rehab. It said, all the girls that are coming here for rehab are from Uganda. All girls coming here being brought in for rehab, drunkards, drug abuse, those that can't take care of their children, losing apartments, all of them going for rehabilitation. Majority are from Uganda. And guess what? I'll say something. We haven't achieved so much. We haven't hit it so high. And you know why? Parents have failed. And maybe the parents haven't failed, but I think the system, there's a way we've failed to relate between the system and parenthood, and real true parenthood. So what would you tell a parent?
Yeah, it's never easy, especially here in Denmark, whereby you cannot mishandle a kid like we would do in
Africa.
In Africa, because that is how we bring our kids up. But also, you have to make sure that you maintain the African practice.
How are you dealing with the culture?
Yeah,
we have cultural issues here.
Yeah,
I call them very ungodly practices.
Yeah, I have cultural issues here, but I always keep it outside my door. Once it's in my apartment, for me, it's strictly my African culture, and I mean, and that I always uphold. It doesn't mean that you should beat a kid. It doesn't mean that you should, I don't know, do all those harsh things. But you just have to be a real parent, a parent who talks straight and clear to a kid, and you never give up on the kid.
So you would advise parents to keep talking to the kid, talk until the work is done.
Exactly, and of course, you need to appreciate where they're doing good as well. And I think it's also best to focus on the part of the goodness more. That gives them the encouragement to fix the bad side. Exactly. So if you keep dwelling on the bad side, then they can't move anywhere.
They get demoralized, discouraged.
They move steps backwards instead of moving forward. So you need to focus on the good part, but then you said, but nonetheless, this area you need to work on it. I don't like this. You shouldn't do this, but try not to do it, because always try to do things first time right. That's my rule. Do things first time right. Always first time right. That's the most important thing. And also it's very important that because in Europe we forget about church. We forget about, when we come to Europe, we forget about going to church. We forget about God. We forget about praying. And that's how people get derailed. Because all these statistics you are talking about, the rehab center, I think those are the people who have completely deserted God. They have fallen off the path. That because coming to church is not just about coming to church and meeting people. It's also listening to the preaching. The preaching helps you to fix yourself, check yourself. What am I not doing right, and what am I doing right? So then you see, I need to check myself on this area. So it helps. It really helps a lot. So I've always tried my best to bring my kids to church. pray at home as well. And I am from a Catholic background, and we are very Catholic as well. So sometimes, some Sundays when we don't come here, we are having
Catholic.
we having because
fellowship with the Catholic Church.
We have the African Catholic community in Copenhagen. And we normally have church on every first Sunday of the month. And I am in the board. I'm also the choir master. So we do that a lot, and they are also involved in all those church things. So it helps them because they're always reminded of their godly way of behaving. So the godly way of behaving also protects you from the influences from the peers that they have, because I know all their friends, and I always check their friends, and their friends are good friends. Beckham has a friend called Dumbe from Cameroon. Dumbe is 18 now, right? He's a good friend, and that's his friend from school, and he's good. He comes home. Beyonce has a friend from Cameroon as well. She's called Rihanna, and Rihanna is a good girl as well. And I always want them to work, because I want them to work after school, on weekends when and they're all working. They all have a job, and that helps them, because when you come back from school and you have nothing to do apart from being on your phone, on the TV, or going out with friends, you get yourself into trouble. But when you go to work, it keeps your mind doing something more productive. It keeps you away from trouble as well. But one thing I've always told my kids, all of them, I tell them, always stay away from trouble. And staying away from trouble is also just being home. It's not about just going out. Being home, because you can go out, and then with a clique of friends, someone commits a crime, and then you're all involved, and you're all into that problem. So I always say that, stay away from friends, and that's what happened with Beckham. Beckham has always been so good at it. Beckham had no friends for a long time, until he came to Tassov. He got a friend, and he got a good friend, because I told him, just stay away from trouble. And he says, Daddy, I don't have friends because I don't trust these guys. They can get me into trouble. And that has helped him so much.
Beautiful. I want to ask you, I mean, you people should be proud, and I pray you don't disappoint your daddy. You don't disappoint this. I want to ask you, what do you hate about the Danish culture, about European culture? Let me not be particular about Danish. I mean, be bold to say it. I hate the LGBT, for example. I don't like it. I don't like that asserting or teaching people about the LGBT. You know what I'm talking about? What do you hate?
Just like when I used to live in Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
I used to always be at my friend's house, and like sometimes I would see how they would treat their like family members, and their parents wouldn't say anything about it. So like in Denmark here, their parents don't really like parent them the right way, and they end up being disrespectful, racist, and all this kind of stuff.
Do you believe it's right to smoke?
No.
Do you believe it's right to drink at your age?
No. And most of my friends do it. And I remember when I was in 5th grade or 4th grade, my friend asked me and other people too to like smoke some of her dad's cigarettes. But I said no, but she was forcing us to do it. So yeah.
What about my son, Beckham? What do you hate? You say, I really disregard this. This is wrong.
It's more or less the same thing, you know. Like I don't really like the way Danish kids, some Danish kids treat people of different color, of like different countries and stuff, you know. And also hate the fact that the parents let the kids do whatever they want, you know. They let them smoke, do drugs, you know, carry knives out of nowhere for no reason, that kind of stuff. I really don't like that. It bothers me, you know.
What are your aspirations? What would you like to become when you grow up?
I would like to become a doctor.
A doctor?
Yeah.
Please, head on for it. What do you want to become?
Electronic engineer.
Electronic engineer. Please, head on for it.
Sure.
Just head on for it. Just avoid trouble. Avoid all these things that can put you in trouble, like Daddy said. And I'm very glad and very proud that you guys have a very... I mean, I didn't know. He's such a great father. Such a great father. And we need to appreciate him. A great father, a great man and doing great things. What about the disregard of God in society? And you being the way, I mean, the society doesn't so much believe in God and so on. What do you think about it?
Like I think it's it's really different, from like in Uganda. I always grew up around church.
Yeah,
my mom, for example, is a really religious woman.
Yes.
Yeah, like every time she's for overnight prayers.
Yeah.
Sundays. She's like really prayerful. So I grew up around that culture. Feel me? Of going to church every Sunday, of going to church when there's an event, praying every time before eating food, before napping, like all the stuff. But when I came here, it's different. Feel me? Like the stuff, like for example, right? When I first came to Denmark, we went to church for the first time, but it was Danish church, and it was like we couldn't understand the language, so we kind of didn't go. But then, right, we used to go to this church and in the it was in Copenhagen, but it was like I don't know, like 1 hour away from where we used to live. So we didn't really go much. Yeah, and that's kind of how I kind of started losing faith, because I didn't really go to church that much either. And in school, like they don't really talk about God and stuff. So in school and home, I didn't really have connection with God. So like I was kind of losing my way. But when it came to Telstra, started going to church a little bit more. That I got a good job. We're living closer to work, so it was like enough time to go to church, and stuff like that. So like I don't know, I started to pray a little bit more and stuff. And my sister became also a lot more religious. Yeah, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to have God in the family. Very, very, very important. If you drop that, you're dropping one of the greatest values. Not even one of the greatest value you'll ever have in life. It's God. You're losing yourself. If you lost God, you've lost yourself. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what you don't have. If you've lost God, you've lost yourself. You've lost yourself. You've lost yourself. And I want to give a lot of credit to Daddy and to you. I mean, this is a wonderful family. Well, really need to have more time with you. What's your favorite dish? Favorite food?
I like burgers.
Burgers.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'd say rice and I don't know, maybe chicken or like beans. I don't know.
Beans. and my brother Jude.
Yeah, rice and beans and malakwang.
Malakwang.
Yeah.
What's malakwang? Malakwang is fish?
No.
Hey.
No,
What?
it's a green vegetable that is sour.
Hey.
Sour green vegetable. You put peanut butter in it.
I think a gobe. Not cassava leaf. I think it's called a gobe or something like that. It must be a gobe. You put. I thought you were going to tell me millet, and there's a dish. Other friend of mine from Gulu, was actually from Gulu, who used to always prepare either sweet potatoes and millet kalo, and make very nice tasty peanut stew with meat in it. And that was I always used to go and time around lunchtime, and it was either sweet potatoes or millet, and I enjoyed it so much. Do you ever prepare the African meals in your home?
Yeah, a lot of times we make ugali. Yeah, we do that even when bunyewa.
Yeah. You should invite me. Think about it. Invite me when you've made that African meal, especially when it is. Do you make kalo?
Kalo, I'm not so good at making it because it's not an easy.
But ugali,
not easy to make kalo because sometimes it goes really bad. But ugali is so easy.
Yes.
The maize flour is very easy.
Yeah.
But the millet flour is not easy to make. You need to be really, really, really smart with it.
No, come and eat the maize flour. Final remarks from you. What would you tell people of your age, young girls of color like you? How would you encourage them? Because many are lost along the way.
I just said find good friends and find people that will encourage you to do the right thing and stay close to your family and God.
Amen. And Beckham?
I'd say stay close to your parents. Feel me? they're here for you. And if you ever having troubles, just speak to them. They can help you for sure. Like my dad has helped me. And, yeah, and so of course stay close to God.
I'm going to ask you to make a few kind remarks to Daddy. I want you to appreciate Daddy today. Did you appreciate him on Father's Day?
Yes.
What did you do? Beyonce, Father's Day we were here, you didn't appear. What did you do?
I prayed at home.
No, you prayed at. What did you do for Daddy?
No, for Dad, the day before, I just told him that he was a great dad. I just thanked him for everything he has done.
Did you buy him a gift? Beyonce, you work.
It came from the heart.
There should have been a gift from the heart. Yes, and what did you do for Daddy?
I wished him Happy Father's Day, and I told my siblings Benjamin to say too. I couldn't really get him anything because I'm kind of
Broke.
I didn't have a job back then, so I didn't get it, but I would get him something for his birthday. So
Wow. Okay, I want you to say some kind remarks appreciating Daddy.
I start.
Some kind, yeah, you can start.
I just want to say no, I just want to say like thank you, because sometimes you've been really strict, and I really hated it. I really hated it. But as I've gone older, I've come to understand what you said was all correct.
Amen.
Yeah, I've realized my faults, and I've tried my best to to be better. Even though it's hard to do sometimes, I've tried myself to be better and stuff, and and right now it's going great for me. I've been accepted into a school, and I'm gonna start after summer, so it's going good. And I just wanna say it's all thanks to him and stuff. And yeah.
What school have you been accepted into?
It's called Roskilde Technical School.
Technical school.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Beyonce.
Okay, I just want to thank you for being wise and always telling me wise stuff, and thank you for helping me find my independence, and thank you for always telling me what to do and the right stuff to do, because sometimes I haven't been listening to you, but then at the end I would fall, and then you help me get back up, and I just want to thank you for all of that.
Beautiful. Yes, my brother Jude, what would you tell the parents? Just a word to the parents.
Yeah, thank you very much, my fellow parents out there. It's always a challenge bringing up kids, no matter whether you're single or you're double. It's always a challenge, and every day is a challenge, and every year, every birthday they make is a challenge as well. So the older they get, it's a big challenge as well. So just stick to your rules, stick to the principles, stick to God, and always believe in yourself, believe in what you say, believe in what you want them to do, and always make sure that you drive them forward to achieve their dreams. And the most important thing is to be a good citizen, a good adult when you grow up. What would you want to give to your children in future, to give in your marriage in future? And that means that what you do now will determine your future. So what you do now, you have to account for it when you grow up. So if you lead a bad life full of mistakes, then mistakes will always follow you. Try to stay away from mistakes. Mistakes sometimes are intentional mistakes. So stay away from intentional mistakes. And parents should always, you guide your kids, keep them away from the wrong tracks, keep them away from bad friends. Don't just look and keep quiet. Be tough. Say something. They can be hurt, they can hate you, but no kid will hate a parent who is saying the right things, only when you're saying the wrong things. So just be close to them. Please help them stay close to God, and always appreciate the good they do. When you appreciate the good they do, you give them the energy to move forward and become the persons that you would want them to be and what they would want to be as well. So it's a challenge, but the journey will never stop. So just be there for them, be close, never be away. Sometimes we are home with them, sometimes we are together with them, but we are not away with them. But we are always away with them because we don't talk to them, we don't advise them, we don't tell them what needs to be done, and sometimes we don't say the wrongs they're doing. Just call a spade and make sure that they're always aware this is wrong, and this is what I need to do. Thank you.
Wow, and we want to thank you so much for those beautiful, beautiful words and kind remarks from my guests today. Thank you so much, Beyonce. Thank you so much, Beckham. And thank you so much, my brother Jude.
Thank you.
You're
And
a
there's
great parent.
There's
Yes.
one thing I want to say before I leave is that always try to take the kids back home to Uganda.
Yes.
It helps them get back to the culture and know that this culture exists, and the culture is very, very good. And that's something that will always help them. When they grow up, they will never forget the homeland. Because sometimes they will get lost here and they never go back home, and that is not good. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. And with those kind remarks, my name is Kat, and we just want to thank you for being with us. Wait for the next episode of Reflections. This being about family. There are many, many more episodes we're bringing in. Just be expectant of what's coming next. Thank you so much. Have a very wonderful evening, and kwaheri from us. Bye-bye.